So there you go, guys. That's my take on Emperor Extrait from Parfums Vintage. Let me know in the comment section. What's going on, guys? I'm Dan. This is Scented Waters, and today I have a review for you from the House of Parfums Vintage. But before we go any further, how about you hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell. So, if you read the title, you already know what this is all about. It's Parfums Vintage new batch variation of their Pineapple Vintage line, and it's called Emperor Extrait. Bam. And before we go any further, just to let you know, I did purchase this. This was not sent to me for review. I did pay for this. So, that being said, let's get into the presentation. If you've bought any Parfums Vintage fragrances, at least their Pineapple Vintage fragrances, you already know what the box looks like. When I bought Emperor Extrait, I bought it near the beginning when it just came out. So, the box that it came in was this black box. Some of you might have gotten the same box, but what it actually comes in now is this white box. This box was sent to me just to show that this is the new packaging that it comes in. So as of now, if you were to purchase this fragrance, this is the color box that it comes in, not the black one like mine came in. So there goes that. If you've purchased any of the Pineapple Vintage batch variations, they all come in this white box, or a majority of them come in this white box. And the name on the front, Emperor Extrait, with the crest on the front, back mural, beautiful box as always. The bottle, same type of bottle that you have, wooden cap, nice sprayer as always. Can't complain. On the bottom of the fragrance, it has the name of the fragrance, Emperor Extrait, and its concentration, which this one, hence the name, is an Extrait de Parfum, even though on the front of the box it does say EDP, or Eau de Parfum. And the notes for Emperor Extrait are, for the top notes you have pineapple, apple, and juniper berries. For the mid notes you have bergamot, rose, and jasmine. And for the base you have patchouli, musk, vanilla, ambergris, and birch. So Emperor Extrait, pretty ballsy name if I say so myself. That would pretty much lean me to think that this is a more superior version of their Pineapple Vintage batches. So, off of first sniff, jeez. Off of first sniff, this does smell exactly like a Aventus variation, batch variation. And this one, honestly, off top, compared to all the other Pineapple Vintage variations, batch variations, this one seems a little bit more balanced. Does one note stand out more than the other to me? No, it doesn't. It actually smells very balanced to me, which I actually like. I've had Emperor Extrait for about a week and a half now, and I've been testing it against my Aventus decant that I have, which is 18B11, I think it is. Don't quote me on that one, but that's what I think it is. And I tested two out, one on this hand, one on this hand. I smelled the Aventus, it smelled great, but then when I smelled the Emperor Extrait, it smelled richer. Hence the Extrait. It's a higher concentration of oils. After about 4 hours, I did start noticing that the Aventus started dwindling off, and the Emperor Extrait was still pretty much there with the oil sheen on my hand. After the 6 hour mark, the Aventus was honestly damn near almost gone. It was a very, very faint skin scent. The Emperor Extrait was still prominent on my skin. Not as loud as it was at the beginning, obviously. Now, after doing that little test, it made me wonder, what is the use of me actually having the Aventus when it does not really last that long on me? At least for me. I know there are going to be a lot of people that disagree with me that say Aventus on them lasts a long time, but that's the thing. And on them, it lasts a long time. It's a different skin chemistry. With me, it does not last longer than 6 hours for me, if that, given the day. And we're talking about a cool temperature environment where it could last longer for me. Now, if we're talking about me being outside, even less, maybe 4.5 hours, then it's gone. But all the Pineapple Vintage versions of Aventus have actually done great for me. Pineapple Vintage, for example, my favorite one out of the whole line of Pineapple series. My favorite one out of the whole Pineapple series is very long lasting for me. I get 8 hours plus, sometimes even 10. When I was testing out Emperor Extrait, it lasted on me for at least a good 12 hours. Easy, no problem. Now, the trade-off that I have with Emperor Extrait comparing to Vanilla Intense and Pineapple Vintage Intense is those are Eau de Parfum, and this is an Extrait de Parfum, which when it comes to Extrait de Parfum, you have longevity, great longevity. You should have great longevity, but the projection is a little bit more dialed down. Where Vanilla Intense and Pineapple Vintage Intense, I get good projection off of those for at least a good 3 hours. When I sprayed Emperor Extrait, I got a good projection for at least a good hour. After that, it was a very close tight bubble. If you've had any Extrait de Parfum fragrance, you know there's a trade-off when it comes to projection and longevity. When it comes to longevity, it's great. It lasts at least a good 10 hours plus, majority of them, the good quality Extrait de Parfums. But when it comes to the actual projection, you have a lot tighter scent bubble. Now back to comparing Emperor Extrait with Aventus. You know what, let me stop. When it comes to Creed and their fragrances, they have great quality, that's undeniable. But one thing that for me, I feel I can't see myself doing is purchasing these fragrances when they're at high dollars, and each time they come out, they keep on getting more expensive. A lot of people don't like the fact that Parfums Vintage has high dollar prices for pretty much a quote unquote clone of Aventus. But majority of the people that I speak to that have tried Parfums Vintage fragrances have nothing bad to say when it comes to their quality. I personally don't like paying retail for any type of fragrance. If I can get it for a lesser price, I'm gonna do that. But when you're going on some of these gray market sites and the Creeds are still at high dollar compared to something else that is somewhat of a fraction of the price, maybe not as cheap as an Armaf or Hermès fragrance, but I feel the quality is better than those when it comes to the quality of the juices that are in it, not the scent. I'm just talking about the quality of the juice itself. So for myself, I don't personally see myself buying a Creed that is at $400, maybe $300 in the gray market, when I can pay like maybe 120 bucks, 130 for something comparable, maybe even better longevity, for me at least, for a lesser price. Me personally, I would pay 120 bucks for this 50 ml of Parfums Vintage Emperor Extrait that lasts me 10 hours plus, rather than paying for a gray market version of Aventus, which is close to 200 bucks, that doesn't last me past 6 hours. For me, longevity is what it is. If it lasts longer, that's what I'm gonna use. This one lasts longer than Creed for me, Creed Aventus for me, so this is what I'm gonna pick. So obviously not everybody's gonna agree with me. You're gonna have your diehard Creed Aventus fans, and that is respectable. That's what they like, then that's what they like. Me personally, this is what I pick. I am not planning on buying a bottle of Aventus when a quality like this is at the doorstep. That all being said, Parfums Vintage has 3 different sizes of this fragrance, and I think even in the regular Emperor, 3 different sizes, a 50 ml, 100 ml, and also in a travel size 8 ml, which I think is like about 30 bucks. This one is 119, and I think the 100 ml is 190. Still kind of high. That's why I bought this one, because I can't buy that 190 bucks one. Unless Parfums Vintage wants to send me one, then hey, I'm not gonna stop them. So once again, let me recap. Pineapple Vintage Intense, Vanilla Intense, and all these other batch variations of their Pineapple series have more of a projection and still the longevity. But this one, Emperor Extrait, given the fact that it is an Extrait de Parfum, has less of a projection, but the longevity is ridiculous. 10 hours plus I see in my eyes, and at least it worked for me. I know when my girl smelled it on me, she said that it smelled amazing. It was a great skin scent for the longevity of it. You know what, until I took a shower, I think I'd previously been wearing it for at least a good 12 hours because I wore it that morning, did not respray. She came home later that evening, went to the gym, came back, she still smelled it on me. It is what it is, it's a wrap. For me, I feel that this one, Emperor Extrait, is a good bang for your buck when you're talking about longevity of a Aventus rendition. Giving Emperor Extrait a rating 1 out of 10, it's a good solid 8 for me. Pineapple Vintage is still my top dog. Emperor Extrait is a balanced fragrance that I feel that anybody that likes the Aventus fragrance, that is looking for a high quality fragrance for a lesser price than Aventus, this is what I think you should try out. Give them a sniff. They do sell samples of Emperor Extrait and Emperor on their website. So if you don't want to pay that high dollar one, you can either get the travel size or even one of the samples. So there you go, guys. That's my take on Emperor Extrait from Parfums Vintage. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about it? Am I wrong? If I am, let me know. Let's be respectful. Let's have a conversation about this. But that's my take on it. Do you plan on getting this fragrance? Let me know in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Emperor Extrait, great version of Aventus, but at the end of the day, it's still scented water.